Morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing great because holy mother of God, you guys are genuinely incredible. The last video I made on Helldivers 2 has almost 60,000 views, and I'm now over halfway to 16,000 subscribers. I genuinely cannot thank you guys enough. You are all incredible. Speaking of which, if you've been watching some of my videos and you still aren't subbed yet, then please consider subscribing. I promise you won't regret it. But aside from that, I have even more Helldivers content to talk about today, because as I'm sure all of you watching this know by now, Helldivers 2 has been confirmed to be going to Xbox on August 26th. And the responses to this have been overwhelmingly positive. 99% of people are just extremely happy about this. Whether it be because they're on Xbox, so now they get to play it, or they have friends on Xbox, and now their friends get to play with them. Whatever the reason may be, most people are happy about this. That is, aside from a select few people on Twitter and YouTube. And today we're going to be taking a look at the YouTube side of things. I've covered Twitter the last two videos. And now we're going to be taking a look at a short video from an infamous PlayStation fanboy known as Puerto Rock. Now, Puerto Rock has notoriously been very pro-exclusive, anti-games going to other platforms and whatnot. When Microsoft announced they were putting 4 games on PlayStation last year, instead of celebrating it, he mocked it and used it as console war ammunition. Now, to his credit, he was not acting as bad as most fanboys were. And he was actually being pretty rational for the most part on Twitter, saying like, hey, don't believe that this is the one time they're doing this. There's gonna be more games that go over. So credit where credit's due. He's not completely dumb. However, he kind of ruined things for himself because he uploaded this video a couple days ago in which he seems very actively, not distressed, because distressed would imply there was a lot of emotion. He just seems very depressed in the video. And the talking points he brought up in this video were so weird because he was saying that they put it on Xbox before PS Plus, which isn't incorrect, like that is true, but the implications of the way he says it are just weird. So we're gonna take a look at that today. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this.
All right, Puerto Rock 77, your only friend these YouTube streets, and I just want to say one thing. One thing only. Sony gave Helldivers 2 to Xbox gamers before they gave it to you. And by what I mean is they gave it to Xbox gamers before they gave it to you. You are the people who are subscribed to PS Plus Extra and Premium.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see what the point is. Like, yes, you are correct in that statement. They did, in fact, put it on Xbox, which, by the way, that's what we need to point out here. They did not give it to Xbox gamers. There is no giving here. They put the game on Xbox, and now Xbox gamers can purchase it. This happens every time a game gets ported from one platform to another. People are like, oh my god, Sony or Xbox are giving these games to these people. And it's like, no, the only thing Sony is giving Xbox gamers is the opportunity for Xbox gamers to give Sony money. If it was going to Xbox for free, that would be a different story. Also, he's comparing this game being purchasable on Xbox to it not going onto PS Plus. These are two different things. If they were putting the game on Xbox and they were putting it into Game Pass, but it still wasn't in PS Plus, then this might be more of an issue or an actual good talking point. But right now it doesn't make sense. You're trying to compare having to purchase a game to a hypothetical situation in which Sony would put Helldivers on Game Pass, but not on PS Plus, and that's just not the reality of what's happening.
You are subscribed to Extra and Premium, so you can access a library of games, and one of those games is not Helldivers 2. But it's on Xbox as of August.
Yes, again, he's correct. You cannot get Helldivers 2 on any tier of PS Plus. But, like, why do you suddenly have a problem with this? Because it's on Xbox? Again, if it was going to Xbox Game Pass, this confusion would be perfectly warranted. But in this situation, it just doesn't make any sense. They never said that Helldivers was going to PS Plus. They never promised it or anything. There's no guarantee that really any of Sony's games are going to go to PS Plus, honestly. And I do find this funny funny because Puerto Rock is one of the guys who is pretty anti-Game Pass, you know, against the idea of games going day and date. You know, he's one of those guys who shrieks about supporting the devs and whatnot. But now that Helldivers is going to Xbox, here he sits complaining about the fact that you're not getting Helldivers in your PS Plus subscription. What changed, man? And yes, I know that tweet I showed was from 2023, but he hasn't changed in 2 years. Well, I say he hasn't changed, but apparently now that PlayStation's putting games on Xbox, he has. Suddenly the game should be on the subscription service, which, by the way, I'm not disagreeing with. I agree, Helldivers 2 should be on PS Plus. It's just funny to see the complete switch up because the game's going to an opposing platform now.
So Sony gave the game to them before they gave it to the rest of the PlayStation gamers who, one, bought the console, and two, are subscribed to a higher tier of subscription services. Meanwhile, the Xbox cats who, you know, are not going to play this game on a PlayStation console, are not going to play this game on a PlayStation controller, and are not subscribed to a PlayStation service, they're going to play it on their console.
Again, nothing but facts detected. I'm just failing to see the problem. Who cares that they're not gonna play it on a PlayStation console or with a PlayStation controller? Sony clearly didn't have a problem with that already because the game was day and date on PC. I'm not subbed to PS Plus. I don't have a PlayStation controller. I don't even have a PS5 console. I have always played this game on my PC with keyboard and mouse, and yet Sony happily took my $40 just like everybody else's. Because guess what? At the end of the day, money talks, console war BS walks. Also, why are you saying that, oh, these people have a higher tier PS Plus subscription and they bought a PS5? As if that means Sony owes putting the game on PS Plus. Again, would it be great? Yes. But dude, they don't owe you anything. When you buy PS Plus, they owe you what is promised with it. When you buy a PlayStation 5, they owe you the console. That's how business transactions work. It's not like they made some kind of deal where it's like, hey, subscribe to PS Plus Extra and get Helldivers 2 or something like that. This is like the same argument that people used to use when PlayStation putting games on PC was new. And they were like, why are you doing it? PC players haven't done anything for you. They haven't bought your stuff. Guess what happened? Sony realized there is a group of people, a large group of people, one that they see as valuable, who no matter what they put out or what they do, they will never buy Sony systems, whether it be a console or a subscription service or whatever, or at least they won't be willing to move to the console just to get that stuff. So what are they doing? They're gonna take the games to the people, and guess what? Now all these guys on Xbox are gonna buy the game. You're like, oh, these Xbox guys haven't bought anything from you. Yeah, it's because the things Sony was trying to sell them were not on their preferred platform, and not everybody wants to go out and drop $400+ just to play a couple games. Crazy concept, I know, but it's true.
Now, I'm not subscribed to Extra and Premium, but some of you are. And some of you didn't buy the game, you know, whatever. But if the game was added to your subscription service that you are paying for, I'm pretty sure you would have gave the game the chance and then probably done the money transaction. Sony would have gotten more players on the game from their own fan base. But no. You guys don't get to play the game. You have to buy it. Even though you put in more money towards PlayStation by buying their console and paying for PS Plus Extra and for those Premium, which is even the highest tier, you don't get the game. But Xbox gamers who didn't buy the console,
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm not trying to have that clip go on too long. Again, when you buy something from a company, they owe you what you bought. Buying a PS5 or PS Plus does not entitle you to Helldivers 2 unless Helldivers 2 is on the subscription service, or if it's bundled with the PlayStation. Also, I love how he's describing one of the main benefits of Game Pass, that being that you can try the game day one if it's from Xbox, and then if you want to buy it, you can do it after, and you can get a discount with it. And he just doesn't even realize it. honestly. Like, does anybody else see the irony in that? And again, dude, they're not giving it to Xbox. Xbox players have to spend $40 as well. Like, what is the problem? And on top of that, you want to know how you make new fans? You put your games on other platforms so other people can experience them and become fans of the games. He's almost like implying that you should specifically cater to the people only on your platform because they bought another one of your products instead of trying to branch out to other platforms and create more fans of the game or the series or whatever. I can just imagine this dude probably bought that DualSense pillow that's sitting behind him and then got mad when Sony didn't give him a copy of Spider-Man 2 even though that was never promised along with it. Like, if you want Helldivers 2 in PS Plus, then I agree, that would be a great thing. Please argue that that should be the case. But don't spin it into this negative thing where, oh, they're giving it to Xbox guys before PS Plus guys. If you actually cared about this, you would have talked about it beforehand and not made it a console war topic.
Buy the controllers. Don't pay for their subscription service. They pay for Game Pass. You know, the service that gives them day one games. So they get a service that allows them to play online and play day one games. You get a service that allows you to play online, but you don't get to play day one games, and you don't even get some of the PlayStation owned games.
I mean, honestly, dude, this just sounds like an issue you should take up with Sony. Like, yeah, it's almost like for years now, people have been saying that Game Pass is better than PS Plus, and the day and date thing is one of the biggest reasons for that. With Game Pass, you know you're getting Xbox published games day and date on the service, and they're gonna stay there for at least several years unless you have a case like Forza where licensing agreements run out and then they have to take them off or whatever. But with PS Plus, there's no guarantee. You're not getting games day one, and then PlayStation published games can go to the service, but they can also leave the service at any point. If you were just making this its own video about like how PS Plus needs to be better and take more notes from Xbox or something, I would be all for it, but the fact that you're spinning this into some console war thing and you now have a problem with it because the game is on Xbox is not a good look.
That's diabolical, bro. That is diabolical. Sony's actually diabolical with that one. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Quick and short video. Rock77, your only friend these YouTube streets.
This man did not just say that PlayStation putting Helldivers on Xbox is diabolical, dude. Oh my god. I knew about this video's existence. Like, I had to screen record it, obviously, but I wasn't actually listening to what he was saying while I was recording it. Well, PlayStation is diabolical is definitely going in the title now. But yeah, guys, that really was it. I mean, it was just like, what, a 3-minute video or something like that. But I definitely found it worth talking about, and shout out to Sir Bruv. I will link him in the description for talking about this first. I was not the first one to cover this. He beat me to the punch. Please go check out his video, drop a like, drop a nice comment, and sub to him. He deserves it. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And again, thank you all so much for the ridiculous support. I was going to do like a 15,000 sub celebration stream, but I don't even know if I'll have time to do that before I hit 16K. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it. But yeah, you all are incredible. Love you all so much. And as always, be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, like, hit subscribe if you want to see more. Join us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Salt streams, and join us every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for gaming streams on the gaming channel. And I will catch you all next time.